I don't chase, I attract. That's just my whole motto.
Mantra.
I want to get a tattoo.
Mantra. I love it.
You know, like,
I don't chase, I attract.
Period.
Welcome back to Hash It Out. Today's episode is all about marketing yourself on YouTube to get qualified real estate clients if you're a real estate agent. I'm Amy J. Simpson, and today I'm here with an amazing realtor who also services Central Maryland and gets a lot of her clients from YouTube. Audrey, please introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, my name is Audrey Rosier. Like she said, I have a YouTube channel. It talks about just living in the Central Maryland area, and I do receive a lot of leads from it. So
boom.
Yeah.
And today she is going to be talking to you guys about exactly how she does that. I'm going to ask Audrey about 5 hot topic questions, and then we're going to play a little game of true or false. Audrey, you ready?
Yep.
Let's do it. So first question is, I just got my real estate license. I want to market myself on social media. For YouTube specifically, what's your biggest tip you would give me?
So the biggest tip would probably be to have a focus on the areas that you want to work on, and then think about your ideal client when you're actually talking and creating content.
Okay, I like that. So like, what does your ideal client look like?
My ideal client is typically someone, I would say under 50,
okay.
Tech savvy. A lot of the people that I work with automatically will, schedule calls with me, and I feel like it takes a certain kind of like tech savvy person to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'll email me directly, and usually it's a technological kind of connection.
So somebody who can kind of like follow your systems easily.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense. So now, how do you find your ideal client online when so many people have access to your videos?
Yeah, so I actually just looked back at, so I've been in the business for a while, so I actually just looked back at who I've enjoyed working with over the course of my career.
Okay.
And then I was like, I'm going to make that person my ideal client, because that is ideal for me to work with the people that know how to use GPS, know how to use all the things. So
I got you.
That's kind of how I found mine.
Okay, so somebody's watching your videos, they decided that they want to use you. How do you kind of tell the difference between people who are serious and want to do business and people who are just talking crap? Like, how do you qualify clients?
So typically I do try to get an idea of their timeline.
Okay.
And if they're looking, to move here. I will say there are a lot of people that are just kind of curious about the area, and that's okay too. I don't mind talking to people about, hey, I think that, this area, based on what you said that you're looking for, proximity to, a cold stone, whatever, like that may be a good area for you. I don't mind talking to them about that.
Okay.
But typically when people are serious, they want to be connected to a lender.
Mm-hmm.
They typically ask quite a few more, I feel like more in-depth questions about actually moving to the area.
Okay.
So there's curiosity, and then there's actually people that are moving.
Exactly.
And you kind of just, I don't know how to, I guess you kind of just understand the difference after a while.
Okay, so after being in it, so if I'm a new real estate agent and I just get into it and I'm excited because these people are asking me all these questions, so I'm like, I got all these clients now. So like that difference right there is just make sure that you actually qualify them with a lender.
Yeah, pretty much.
I found that when I first got into the business and I was doing a lot of social media, I'm just like, I got all these clients, and I'm like, these people are not serious. And I learned that the hard way. So I was like pouring into them and sending them all these messages because they showed interest in a certain video that I did, and it ended up wasting a lot of time and energy.
Right.
So I learned to just qualify them, right? So that's very important. Make sure that you are qualifying every single person, not just taking people out, not just meeting them, and not just giving a lot of information to somebody who's not really serious, right?
Because they will ask.
Yeah,
they will ask you to take them out, and then you be like, okay, what are you doing?
So what you got going on? You got some money?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's kind of like, then they fall off the face of that. Yeah. I get that. So y'all want to make sure you're being careful with that. So Audrey, what if I am a person who I want to make content, but I hate showing my face on camera? What kind of content can I make?
So there's plenty of content, right? So I find that honestly, some of my best performing videos on YouTube in particular are just new construction walkthroughs. People like seeing pretty houses. So that's probably what I would do. There's also, AI that can create, just kind of a script involving, a certain area, and then you just have pans of the area.
Oh, I love that
like
so much.
Yeah, you can do a voiceover and explain what the video is doing. But there's a lot of different things that you can do.
Yeah, where you're not necessarily showing you told me about the new construction and just like pretty much staying out of it and just doing a pan of the actual house and then giving the details on the house, and that way that's a really great way to not have my face on the camera. So that was a tip that I am living by right now. I love it, so thank you. All right, so next is, how do you handle criticism from your peers or other colleagues in the industry who don't necessarily value social media?
That's interesting. That's an interesting question. So I don't really feel like I get a lot of that because I don't really feel like I get a lot of that.
Okay, that's good.
I think I built something where I'm like, they're like, oh, social media, I get my leads from cold call. I'm like, all right, that's cool.
Cool.
That worked for you.
Yeah.
End
of discussion. Goodbye.
Yeah, pretty much it. Like, it's like, okay, cool, that works for you. I mean, I'm not going to try to like change anybody's mind about anything. What works for you, works for you, works for me, works for me. But I just feel like the kind of business that I wanted to create was the business of attraction versus chasing. I don't chase, I attract. That's just my whole mantra. I get a tattoo.
Mantra. I love it.
You know, like,
I don't chase, I attract.
Period. Like, so that's kind of what I grew my, like, that's my whole life, I would say, and that extends into the business. So I've built a business where people reach out to me, and I will like say, hey, thank you so much for reaching out. Why don't we schedule a call? And there's a procedure, you know. So I don't really get that a lot as much as I used to. I think when the channel was still building, or even like when my business was still being built. Now people are like, how do you do that?
So now it's more like, how do you do that, and how can I do that? And not necessarily like, oh, I don't really use it. But at the beginning of it, it was kind of like, oh, I don't do it that way. Yeah. Okay. So how about trolls? Do you get trolls online? How do you handle that?
So I don't get like trolls like talking about me or my appearance. I will say that I don't get that, but I do get sometimes where I'm like, so I make like pros and cons of living in certain areas, or like reasons you should move to X, Y, Z, whatever. Sometimes there are people that come and they're like, don't move there. It's the ghetto. Don't move there. All the types of all crazy stuff.
Oh no!
And I usually, because I'm not going to remove, because I do feel like everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
That's right.
I have my own opinion. You know, I made the video, but I personally just feel that I comment back and I say thank you for your opinion.
Yeah, and thank you for helping the algorithm.
Yeah, thank you for helping the algorithm. Yeah, so that's pretty much what I like.
Yeah, I mean, and the whole purpose of these videos is to generate conversation. So if it's like, if somebody has an opinion about, hey, don't move there, then that gives first of all, it gives you an idea for another type of video. Right. And then it allows other people to say, okay, well, let me go and do some research on that area for myself. Yeah. And then they can see whether or not they like it. So all buzz on most buzz in your comment section is good buzz.
That's true. I mean, if somebody says you're ugly, I'm not take you off the roster. But anything else, that's I mean, I don't get that as
I got you. Somebody told me, I posted a day in the life type of video. Somebody's like, okay, do you want a trophy?
I'm screaming.
I'm like, yes, please. I was like, do you know how hard this is? Give me a trophy, please. Thank you. Very much I want one. Right, so once somebody shows interest on one of your videos, how do you actually convert them into a real client?
Yeah, so it depends on how they show interest. So typically, if they are commenting and saying like, oh, I was thinking about moving to the area, I usually will comment back and say, that's awesome. I would love to be of assistance, and I'll add my Calendly link, so the link to schedule a call with me. If they reach out via email, it's the same thing. It's like, thanks so much. It's so exciting that you're moving to our area. Calendly link. I usually just direct them back to the Calendly. Yeah. If they book a Calendly call, I mean, I'm calling them. I'm categorizing them in the CRM. You know, depending on what that looks like, their timeline.
So, bonus question: everybody gets so offended these days. How do you know which topics to avoid on social media?
That's a good question. Honestly, I have common sense. I don't know what I mean. Truly, I don't. I mean, you're not going to talk about politics. Yeah. I'm not going to talk to you about, you know, like how I feel about a bunch of different things. I mean, so I try to keep my personal opinion out of it a lot. So, for example, when I was saying earlier about like, oh, it's my opinion of the video, it's not really my opinion. Really what I'm doing is I am doing research, having AI create a script for me, you know, and then kind of going from there. So at the beginning of the videos, it's usually like a disclaimer. Okay. This is not my personal opinion. This video was created based on a lot of me doing research. So do not think this is my personal opinion.
I got you. Okay. All right, so it is now time for true or false. We're going to go through about 8 different true or false topics. True or false? Everybody that says they want to buy or sell a house is serious.
False.
No, not everybody. Everybody just ain't sitting around with like $900,000 in their pocket ready to buy a house at any given time.
I mean, it's giving false, but I mean, you know what? Hold up. Let me say, the desire may be there. I mean, like,
so if they want to, then yes, true, they want to. That don't mean that they can.
Yeah, I mean, but you know, honey, we got to work on some things, you know. So
that's true or false. If I want to market myself on YouTube, I can just create videos with no system for conversion.
You technically can. I mean, so you technically can just create versions. I mean, you can create. So I didn't have a system at the beginning. Let me just start there. I had people still reaching out to me without a system. So you technically can. It would just be way more effective if you actually created a system to, you know, build a database of leads from YouTube.
Boom. Take notes, kids. True or false? I can make money from YouTube itself if I stay consistent.
True. Very true. Yeah. So there's so YouTube has their own like monetization parameter. And once you pass that and you have a certain number of watch hours and a certain number of subscribers, you can get paid directly from YouTube to make money from the views that you generate.
I love it. So make sure y'all subscribe here and subscribe there so y'all can help us out. True or false, as a real estate agent or business owner, you have to have a massive following in order to get clients?
False. 100% false. No, I was generating clients with like, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 subscribers. Well, sorry, no, I don't have that many subscribers. I'm sorry, I have like 1,500 at this point. I was generating clients from Instagram with like 2,000 followers at the time. So
okay,
no, you don't need a
so get that out of your head. You don't have to have a massive following. Just start creating content.
Yeah.
True or false? People use YouTube as a search engine like Google.
Oh, 100%. So I think I could be wrong. Don't quote me. I think YouTube is the second largest search engine at this point. So Google's the first, and then YouTube's the second. So yeah, people. I go to YouTube University. I mean, I'm going there to learn stuff all the time. You know, so
yes.
Yeah, people will go to YouTube to search stuff, and it's actually a search engine. Yes.
It is a search engine. True or false? I have to buy all of the best equipment before I can start recording.
No, I started recording with my cell phone.
Boom.
Yeah, I did. It took some time, but I figured out how to record up with, because I use Apple, Apple girl, iPhone. So I use my phone and I use iMovie to edit it, and this was a long time. I had 2008 MacBook at one time. It was really struggling, but I made it work.
Just get started. True or false? You should engage with your audience to build genuine engagement.
100%. Yes, true. Sorry, 100% true. So I find that people are more likely to comment when they're expecting to comment back.
Yeah.
At least that's what works for me. I try to comment on all of my stuff or have my assistant do it. So yeah, sometimes it's not always me, but I do try to comment back whenever I can, and I'm the one usually doing the comment backs or doing the comments back, answering questions, because really you want it to go down in the DM, not in the comment section.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Audrey, tell everybody where they can find you.
Absolutely. So you can just Google me, Audrey Rozier. You'll find my Living in Central Maryland by Audrey Rozier YouTube channel. You'll find my Facebook. You'll find my LinkedIn, my Google My Business, anything really. And you can also catch me at the YouTube class that I'll be hosting here at Keller Williams Flagship of Maryland. It's going to be July 20th at 11 a.m.
That's it. That's all you did. Google her. She said it. Google her. That's right. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And then head on over to Audrey's channel. I'm going to link it below, and make sure that you go ahead and subscribe there.